Ready to go?
Yep.
Okay, reviewers, everyone ready? Please go ahead. We're on the second group of reviewers now.
Alright, my name is Edward Chow. I want to start with a few questions. How many of you use Macs? Alright, so how many use PCs? Pretty even spread. So you can see my topics, why PCs are better than Macs, and you're also probably wondering why all of my speeches have been about computers when I'm a finance major. I'm actually double majoring in computer science. So I'm going to start off by talking about things I actually do like about Macs, and then I'm going to move on to why PCs are better, namely the issue with viruses, compatibility, support, modularity, and customizability. So things I do like about Macs are their sleek design. They look really futuristic. It kind of reminds me of like Star Trek or something, where you have the doors that slide open and go whoosh. They're also very user-friendly. They have very innovative technology like multi-touch. Some of their native applications are really cool, like iCal or Dashboard. The battery life is great, lasts like 7 hours, and they're virus-free. That brings me to a video that I want to show you guys.
Hello, I'm a Mac.
And I am no one. Listen, friend, it's not very safe for me right now, you understand? There's a lot of spyware out there. It sneaks into your system, follows you wherever you may go. In fact, take these. They'll keep you safe.
PC, I don't need them. Really, I'm good. I run Mac OS 10, so I don't have to worry about your spyware and viruses. You take them.
Yeah, you're right. I probably should have a backup anyway.
Yeah.
You never saw me. Never saw who? Me, PC.
So, that video brings me to my first point in why PCs are better. Or I guess this point's not so much about how they're better as much as Macs aren't necessarily better than PCs. In last year, Apple's market share in computers was 7.2%, and this year it was 8%, meaning that more people have been starting to use Macs. What that is to a hacker is a larger market, if you will, for them to write their viruses for. So if the consumer base of like Mac users gets larger, then hackers will want to write viruses or Trojans to get into Macs and steal people's personal information. So from the video, Apple said that I don't have to worry about your viruses or spyware, and what that is a misrepresentation by Apple about, or because it creates this idea that Macs are totally impervious to viruses, which is not the case. And in a Mac-CNN article, IDC analyst Chris Christensen was quoted as saying, "Most Mac users take security too lightly. In fact, most are quite proud of the fact that they don't run any security at all. That's an open door, and at some point it will be exploited." So, just as most viruses are only compatible with Windows at the moment, a lot of applications right now are only compatible with Windows also. Some examples of this are like AutoCAD. If anyone does architecture, that's not available on Mac, so you have to have a Windows system to run it. And because there's so many applications that only run on Windows, then or most businesses use Windows. The differences in operating systems actually causes a lot of file incompatibilities, and one example of this was Tarina's informative briefing, where her presentation's format was all messed up, and she wouldn't have had that problem if she had just done a presentation on her PC.
I'm getting a PC.
So now that we know that all computers in general have all sorts of problems, we want to know about the type of support you can get for each type for Macs and PCs. Apple's system is actually, like, you could bring in your Mac if it has any problems, and they'll take a look at it. If they can't fix it in the store, then they'll take it, fix it, and send it back to you, or send you a refurbished or a new laptop. And personally, I think that's kind of inconvenient because you might be without your laptop for like 2 weeks or something. from personal experience though, I can say that PC company's support system is absolutely terrible. They don't ever do anything. But there are a lot of small companies that are willing to help you with their hardware or software issues. And aside from that, there are also a lot of a huge online support community with many experienced users that are willing to help you with their problems. And if you don't want to deal with them, because sometimes they can kind of be assholes, you can actually look at a lot of the how-to guides on there and do it yourself. An important part of repairing your computer by yourself is modularity, meaning that you can swap out parts very easily, and PCs have an advantage of this, or in this, because Apples don't really have any modularity. Like an example of that is batteries in a PC. You can take it out whenever you want, and it costs like $60 to replace if your battery died. And for Apples, if your battery died, then you'd have to send it into Apple, and they would replace it for you. And if you have a MacBook Pro, that costs $170. And if any of you don't know what that graph is up there, that's a graph of Moore's law, which states that the amount of transistors in a processor double every 18 months, and that basically boils down to technology advances really quickly. And that means you'll have to switch out parts in your computer if you want to stay like top of the line. And so for a Mac, if you wanted to stay at like the top, then you'd have to buy a new Mac. You could technically put in new memory into an iMac, but if any of you have tried looking inside your PC before, that's what it looks like. It's like the video card and the RAM is like easy to access, and in Mac it's kind of all hidden behind the screen, and I don't know how to get into that. I don't know about you. And because of modularity, PCs have a great advantage over Macs in terms of customizability. If you're, say, buying from HP versus Mac, this is the same specifications as a MacBook, but for $340 cheaper. Part of that is that Apple has a lot of features on their laptops that you can't take off, such as the backlit keyboard on a MacBook Pro. Though I don't know why anyone would want to take that off, because backlit keyboards look really cool. And you can build your own PC, which, again, you can customize it to your needs. Like if you're into film editing, you can give yourself a more powerful processor or a more powerful graphics card. And these are just a bunch of video cards that you can buy. You can do egg. And then aside from that, you can also customize the looks of it. That over there is actually a PC with a case that is hand-carved wood. This is a
You're at 8 minutes.
perfectly modeled or sentry gun from the game Team Fortress 2, and it's actually also a computer, and you can add LEDs to make it glow and look cool and stuff. But in conclusion, Macs do have quite a few nice features, but because of PC's overall better online support community, compatibility, modularity, and customizability, they're just better than Macs. And thank you for your time.